Hello again, traders, and welcome back to the Hot Stocks Outlook for November 28th, 2025. Hope you all have had a nice Thanksgiving holiday, and of course, we're here to take a look at the most recent VantagePoint A.I predictive forecast. So if you haven't already, be sure to go ahead and click the links down in the description below. Get yourself signed up for a live demonstration to learn all the specifics about how these predictive indicators and technologies are helping traders make much better trading decisions out in the marketplace. And so we've seen a fair bit of volatility. We've seen a lot of the traditional tech stocks that get a lot of attention actually going lower, and actually a lot of biotech stocks like ADMA here and also Eli Lilly, which we've looked at in previous weeks, actually performing really well. So let's go ahead and use this example here to really highlight how all of these predictive forecasts work. And once you understand how to use one set of tools, we can take that and really utilize that on any market. And so what we're seeing here with ADMA is daily price action, right? So where each one of these candles represents a full and complete trading day, well, it's right up against all of that price data that we're first going to take a look at this black line and also blue line value. And so what the black line is actually a simple moving average. So this is a very common technical indicator. We actually call this the actual simple moving average. And in this case, it would be a 10 period. So it simply looks at the previous 10 close prices, adds those all together, and then divides by that number. And so what VantagePoint traders utilize this for is really to act as a baseline. It lets us know where market prices have already been, but obviously traders need to be ahead of that next move in the marketplace. And so what we're able to do is compare what we might call that lagging or actual simple moving average to the VantagePoint proprietary predicted moving average. And so for this number, which is essentially a price, for that to get calculated and plotted on the chart every evening for the trader, well, this is where the technology of artificial neural networks come into play and are performing what we would call intermarket analysis. And so what that means is that rather than just using traditional technical analysis, which really all is just a derivative of price, it really just reconfigures what's already occurred, VantagePoint's neural networks are performing what we call intermarket analysis. And what that means is that they're going to look at a wide assortment of other markets that are known to drive and influence future prices. So this can be things like ETFs, like the biotech ETFs. This can be other stocks, whether they be biotech stocks or seemingly unrelated stocks that offer some important price clues. And this goes really global. It'll look at things like global currencies, global interest rates, as well as even global commodities where applicable. And it's really looking at dozens of these markets, analyzing those relationships, whether they be leading or lagging relationships, positive or inverse correlations, and using those price clues to produce some very accurate forecasts of where price is headed next. And so whenever we see this blue line cross above the black line, what's suggesting that these average prices should start going higher, and traders can utilize that information to essentially take a long position by call options, really express that bullish trade. And you see markets up about 19.5% here just over the past 11 trading days. Now, that's not the only indicator that VantagePoint provides, though. If you look at the very bottom of the chart, you'll see that this bar, it goes from green to red, back to green. Well, this is another indicator that's utilizing those neural network technologies, but they're tuned to solve a different problem for traders, and that is short-term strength or weakness just over the next 48 hours, or really a couple of trading days. And so this warns the trader of short-term strength or weakness, and we see here as we get this overall trend to the upside, that neural index goes to a bearish configuration, and you get a couple days of settling. But notice that that blue line, that predicted moving average, still healthily above the black line, and the overall trend is bullish. Once that neural index gets bullish again, we see the market move higher. So this indicator has an extremely high level of accuracy, upwards of 80 plus, really about 85, 86% on average in a wide range of markets, at anticipating that short-term strength or weakness in the market. And really lastly, we're provided a predicted high and predicted low range. So now we're down to really intraday price levels produced by that neural network technology that traders can use to anticipate entries, set limit orders, and potentially profit targets in the market based on their trading strategy. And so we see here as we get that blue line crossing above the black line, you get these daily updates. Each one of these predicted highs and lows is produced every single trading day. We'll get the actual data filling in this space, and we'll see how accurate all of those predictions were. And you really see how this works early on in the trade, saying, look for the daily price to move down to this low. Next trading day, it anticipates and says, look for the range to slide a little bit lower. We move down to this predicted low, and then the trend really starts to take off. The neural index gets bullish, and that momentum really kicks into the market. So Again, we've seen a lot of strength throughout the biotech space, especially coming into this short week around Thanksgiving. Now, the other sort of narrative here is a lot of weakness around the traditional tech stocks. And so we've seen the ETF like the Qs recover here over the past few days. Really, this week's been fairly strong, but some markets really not performing well. So here we see shares of Oracle, and this works exactly the same way on the bullish side, like we saw with ADMA, as on the bearish side, where we've highlighted a few opportunities over the past few weeks where we really see that excessive weakness playing out. But here with Oracle, that blue line crossing below the black line, a couple of periods where this neural index pops up to a green configuration, but overall, a lot of weakness here. And again, you can see that over, let's see how many trading days we have here, pretty much over a month of trading, you see most of the time that neural index is going to be accurate as far as that short-term trajectory of the market. So you see shares off about 28%, a little bit of a bounce here. Market just continues to go lower over this period, but a lot of separation here between that predicted moving average and the actual moving average, and clearly not a place where we've seen that strength kick into the market. Now, we keep highlighting Eli Lilly here because this has been really one of the strongest markets of really all the markets here. Even as we get that dip in the broader indices, Eli Lilly holding on very strong here. And we can take that forecast to understand, okay, well, when it comes to Eli Lilly, what were the VantagePoint forecasts highlighting? Well, you see we got this blue line crossing above the black line, a couple of blips among really a couple months of data here, but overall a ton of strength from the neural index as well as the predicted moving averages. And of course, over the past couple of weeks, we can say, all right, well, if this stock is on your radar, where is VantagePoint highlighting those levels where traders can accumulate a position? Really see how this works day to day, this being today on Friday's predicted high and low here on Black Friday, but very clearly a lot of strength in this market. If you're a shorter term day trader, really highlighting that, look, this is an area you can focus that attention and of course use that data provided via these artificial intelligence technologies. You see just in the past 5 days, another 6, almost 7% rally here in shares of Eli Lilly. Again, another biotech stock, Regeneron, which we looked at several weeks ago. See that blue line crossing above the black line, neural index very bullish except for these couple of periods where we sort of run a little bit sideways here. But just over the past couple of weeks here, we've seen a lot of strength kick into the marketplace. And we see here moving down towards this predicted low just last week, shares up another 10%. Just over the past 6 trading days. I believe we brought this through probably a couple months ago, so somewhere back here, shares up about 20% from that move after earnings. And you really see how this works. Even after that big movement around earnings, see how the neural networks do a great job of saying, okay, well, let's get these predicted highs and lows back online. You see even after this day saying, hey, look for the market to move lower, look for weakness from the neural index. But overall, the trend very much to the bullish side, and this certainly being one of those markets that stands out as far as strength. Lastly here, we've got Zim Integrated Shipping Services, and this is actually a market identified via the IntelliScan. So we have some really nice tools here where we can identify, hey, where are these crossovers moving to the bullish side? Where is that neural index excessively bullish? And then, like with all of these examples, they can offer up some great intraday opportunities via the VantagePoint predicted highs and lows. So we see very early on when we get this trend moving down towards about $15 a share, couple trading days here moving down to the predicted low, going into earnings, and then you see things really starting to take off. But this really started down about 15, and now you're pushing up against $20 a share in really just a couple of weeks' time. So really nice opportunity there in Zim Integrated Shipping. And just again, another example of how all of these predictive tools work together, right? Where we see that predicted moving average very bullish, where we see that neural index remaining green. That's where we're seeing these really strong rallies, whether it be here in Zim, Eli Lilly, Regeneron, and can really direct the trader's attention to these areas where there's far more profitability as far as the trading goes. So once again, this has been the Hot Stocks Outlook for November 28th, 2025. Thank you all for watching. Best of luck out there, and bye for now.